Your phone buzzes at 6:14 in the morning. You didn't set an alarm for it. You didn't work for it. $41 just landed in your account while you were asleep. Not from a boss, not from a shift. From money you already own. Doing what money is supposed to do. Work. Without you. Here's the question nobody answers honestly. How much do you actually need invested before dividends alone can carry your life? Not a guess, not a vibe, a real number, level by level, and exactly how you get there. Most people never start, not because it's complicated, but because it's boring, and boring doesn't feel like progress. Stay to the end because the number is smaller than you think and bigger than you're ready for. Level 1, $10,000. You're 26. 2 years of skipping the upgraded phone, driving the old car, saying no to Friday takeout got you here. $10,000 sitting in an account, doing nothing. Here's exactly what changes that. You open a brokerage account. Any major one works. Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, free. Takes 10 minutes. You don't pick a single stock. You pick a dividend-paying index fund. A boring ticker that spreads your money across hundreds of companies at once, so no single bad company can sink you. Then you flip one setting most people never touch, automatic dividend reinvestment. One toggle. That's the entire engine. At a 4% yield, that money now pays you $400 a year. Small enough to laugh at, big enough to matter. Because this is the first dollar in your life that didn't come from your hours. Every other dollar came from a desk, a shift, a commute. This one came from ownership. Your coworker sees it on your screen at lunch. He laughs. $400 a year, bro? That's a dinner. He spends more than that on a watch he trades in next year. You don't transfer the $400 out. You don't spend it. The reinvest toggle does its job automatically. That payout buys a few more shares, which pay you a slightly bigger dividend next quarter, which buys a few more shares again. A small machine building itself with zero effort from you after this point. You don't feel it at $10,000. You will feel it later. The rule at $10,000. The first dollar you don't trade time for is the most important dollar you'll ever earn. Everything after this is just repetition, compounding quietly in the background of a life that looks completely unchanged from the outside. Level 2, $50,000. 3 years pass. Most of it came from your paycheck, the same fixed amount, automated straight out of every check. No decision required, no willpower spent. That's the second piece of the process. Automate the deposit before you ever see the money. So saving stops being a choice you have to make and becomes a rule you already agreed to. Some of it came from dividends you never touched. Now it pays you $2,000 a year. Your electricity, your internet, a weekend away, covered by shares, not shifts. Your cousin gets engaged. Family dinner, steakhouse. He orders a wine that costs more than your monthly dividend and announces he just leased a BMW. Everyone claps. You order water. You don't say anything about the $900 a month payment he just signed up for, or the $2,000 a year quietly landing in your account whether you show up to work or not. This is also the level where people start chasing yield instead of quality, because $2,000 feels close to something bigger if they just found a higher number. They don't understand yet that yield is just annual payout divided by share price, which means a stock's yield can look enormous for the exact same reason a 70% off sign looks enormous, because the price collapsed, not because the deal is real. You're not there yet. You will be. The rule at $50,000. The size of someone's spending tells you nothing about the size of their freedom. Watch what people own, not what they lease. Level 3, $100,000. 6 figures. The number you used to think would fix everything. It doesn't fix everything. It pays you $4,000 a year, a full year of groceries, funded by money you didn't earn that week. But here's where it gets dangerous. A friend texts you about a stock yielding 12%. Triple your dividend, he says. You open the chart. The yield is real. The price has collapsed 40% in 2 years. The dividend looks huge because the company is bleeding out, not because it's winning. This is called a yield trap, and it's the single most common mistake at this stage of investing. A company in trouble often keeps paying its dividend for a while out of habit or to avoid spooking the stock further, right up until it can't anymore and cuts it overnight. The math that looked like 12% free money was actually a company on a countdown, and the countdown always ends the same way. A dividend cut, followed by a price drop, followed by the exact people who chased the yield selling at the bottom. You tell your friend to be careful. He buys it anyway. 6 months later, the dividend gets cut in half. The stock drops another 30%. You keep your boring 4%, a number built from companies with decades of consistent payout history, sometimes called dividend aristocrats, companies that have raised their dividend every single year for 25 years or more, through recessions, through crashes, through everything. Boring wins. Boring always wins. The rule at $100,000, if the yield looks too good to be true, it's not opportunity, it's a warning sign wearing an opportunity's clothes. Level 4, $250,000. It pays you $10,000 a year now. Your car payment, your insurance, your gas, an entire year of driving, funded by shares you already own. You're sitting in traffic. The guy next to you is screaming into his phone, veins in his neck, brand new Tesla, 4 years of an $800 a month payment ahead of him. You're driving a paid-off Toyota from 2019. His car owes him money every single month. Your car owes you nothing. There's no new skill required at this level. The only requirement is resisting the urge to sell during a bad month, or chase whatever's trending, or optimize a system that's already working. Every dollar pulled out early is a dollar that stops compounding forever. The rule at $250,000. At this level, the math stops being theoretical. It starts paying for things you can touch, and the people who look richest are often the ones paying the most to look that way. Level 5, $500,000. The number that changes how you sleep. It pays you $20,000 a year, rent in most of the country, or a paid-off mortgage payment replaced completely. This is the 4% rule in action. The number financial planners have quoted for 30 years. The actual floor where you could walk away tomorrow and not starve. Your boss walks in on a Friday at 4:47, sweating, needs you to stay late. You used to say yes instantly. Now you wait 3 seconds before answering. Not because you're planning to quit, but because you finally can. You say yes anyway, but it's a choice this time, not a reflex. The rule at $500,000. $500,000 doesn't make you free. It gives you the single most valuable word in the English language, the word no, and the ability to use it without panic. Level 6, $1 million. You don't feel different. Same apartment, same car, same face in the mirror. But the number is real, and it pays you $40,000 a year, a full salary, replaced forever, without selling a single share. You run the number through a tax calculator. Qualified dividends, under roughly $50,000 taxable income, single filer, the rate on that income is 0%. Not a loophole, a published tax bracket that most people never check, because most people never earn income this way. Your friends lose a third of their paycheck before it even lands. You keep almost all of yours. You could hand in your notice on Monday, and your life would not change. Nobody at your job knows. The woman at the next desk, same salary as you, will retire with hundreds of thousands less. Not because she earned less, but because she never made the first move you made at 26. The rule at $1 million. Money stops measuring how hard you worked. It starts measuring how early you started. Level 7, $1.5 million. It pays you $60,000 a year, more than what most American retirees actually spend annually, replaced completely without touching a dollar of the original principal. The principal doesn't shrink, it keeps growing, and the dividend grows with it. A headline crosses your feed one morning over coffee. Surveys now show the average American believes they need somewhere around $1.4 to $1.5 million to retire comfortably. You read it twice. You're not approaching that number. You're already there. And you got there the same way every single time. Not with a 12% stock, not with a lucky trade, but with a boring ETF and a reinvest toggle switched on years ago and never touched since. The rule at $1.5 million, the number everyone says they need to retire, isn't a fantasy. It's a target with a known, ordinary path to it. The only ingredient missing for most people is time. They haven't started yet. Full circle. Somewhere right now, someone is 26 years old with $10,000 sitting in a checking account, doing nothing. They haven't opened the brokerage app yet. They don't know that $400 a year is about to become the most important number of their financial life. They think the goal is a big number, far away, someday. It's not. The goal is one decision made once and never broken. Open the account, pick the fund, flip the reinvest toggle, automate the deposit, and let time do what time was always going to do. Every level after that is just the same process, repeated. For years, nobody was watching. You don't need $1 million to start. You need $10,000 and one click marked reinvest.